Good morning. I just wanted to share some stuff with the listening audience this morning. There's a lot of stuff going on in our world today. So much violence among young people. So many churches and community organizations, so-called grassroots organizations, sitting by just talking about it but not really doing anything about it. So pretty much, I probably had it up to here. So I'm about to say some things and allow you to hear some things that may change your opinion about me. But if you know me, you know I don't care, because I know that you Negroes don't really care about me or any of the young people out in the streets. Yeah, I'm talking to you, and you. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just come to a boiling point in my life where all the senseless homicides every day in our community, robberies, felonious assaults, the proliferation of gangs and gang recruitment and membership throughout this city, and yet we still sit idly by and we do nothing. We leave our young people with no other choice but to join some type of grassroots or street organization so that they can protect themselves and their family. When in fact we run around calling ourselves Christians, but I want to let it be known today that I'm not a Christian. I'm a son of God. Nowhere in the Bible does God identify, reference us as Christian. That was a pagan terminology, and I can understand why, because the characteristics of that terminology is being made manifest on the earth today. It's hypocritical, lackadaisical, and sitting back doing nothing but complaining and talking about the problem instead of being the so-called solution to the problem. Yeah, I'm talking about you, and you again. Yeah, I'm talking about your church too. That's right, all of y'all. I ain't scared of none of y'all, because ain't none of y'all doing nothing. I don't care what one might do one week. Man, let me just stop and just let you listen to this, because we losing young people daily to the penal system, to the grave, to ignorance, lack of education, no information, and all you want to do is give them a little bit of conversation. Come join my church. Come get baptized, come get saved, and then it ends there. There's churches in this city that spend millions and millions of dollars to build edifices or additions when they could have built grocery stores, manufacturing companies, to be able to employ hundreds, if not thousands, of young people in the various communities where they reside. But we so bent and hell-bent on having building funds, raising these hundreds and thousands of dollars to build churches with 10 members, putting them in debt because they have retirement funds or whatever the case might be. It's time out for that. It's time out for that. The real ministry is on the street. The church is meant for nothing more to develop and build you up so that you can go out and do what God called us to do. But no, we want to create mega churches and hold people hostage from their real purpose in life. I'm not in agreement with that. I don't see nowhere in the church, I don't see nowhere in the Bible where there was mega churches. I saw where disciples went around the world, and as the word says, turned it upside down. For the person we call Jesus Christ, but in the Paleo-Hebrew, his name is called Yahushua HaMashiach. Okay? That's the Hebrew name. But God ain't got no problem with this Greek name that you call him, because we know and he know what you're trying to say. So I know you might not like what I'm saying this morning, but ask me if I care. I'm not gonna cuss. You ain't even got to worry about that, because that ain't in my demeanor, that ain't in my makeup. I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going through my own trials and tribulations through life, but the reality of it is that I can't sit back and not say nothing. So for those of you that have power to change my condition or my situation, or at least that's what you feel, that you may not want to help me, you did what I'm saying, because what I'm about to say is going to be somewhat inflammatory, because the only thing I may not do today is name names, but there eventually in the future will come a day when I'm going to name names, events, times, and places, and people. Because you Negroes, I'm going to leave that one alone right now. But I want you to listen to something. Some of you probably already done turned me off, but that's okay. You can't stop me. because the young people are listening to me. The young people are looking for leadership, real leadership. You dig what I'm saying? From conscious African-American men and women. You dig what I'm saying? Listen, it's become very cliche is to say young people love God, but they hate church. That's not true. They love God and they love church. They just don't like these man-made ideologies that we put upon them when they walk in there. Pull your pants up. That skirt is too tight. That skirt is too short. I can see too much cleavage. Young man, take their hat off. Do this, do that. All this stuff that ain't none of it even in the Bible. What you got on is not going to determine where you spend eternity. It's what's in your heart and what you say out your mouth that determines that. All these man-made doctrines, that's not God. Those are doctrines of devils. Yeah, I said devils. Beelzebub or Beelzebub. Leviathan. Satan. Or Shaitan. However you want to call them. Yeah. That's real talk. So, I was listening to this video this morning, and we need to be elevating and educating our young people. So I want you to listen to this.
You know, a lot of what he's saying is actual fact. You know, it's actual fact. Yet it also speaks to the environment in which we are embedded as young black males and females in this particular society. You know, hip hop changing from positive to negative was not a consequence of history. It was not a circumstance of history. It was nothing that just happened on its own. It had nothing to do with the changing of the times. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with the fact that there are people in this particular society who wants to see us exactly where we are. And we cannot let that point elude us. These are the facts. How do we know? 1967, Kerner Commission report on urban disorder. When black people said, yo, we're tired of this system. You know what I mean? The system is oppressing us. So we rebelled against the system. We burned things. We said, yo, we had enough. He did his little report on what caused these riots. He said, what caused these riots? He said it was young children who started these riots, and what was motivating them was a high self-esteem and an enhanced racial pride. He said the majority of the rioters were high school dropouts, but they had a higher political orientation than their peers who did not drop out. And they saw the system as their enemy, so they attacked it in the right circumstance. So, fast forward to 1992. Same thing. #1 record on the radio, we had Fight the Power. Fight the Power is on the radio. Rodney King is beaten before the world. The black youth rebelled against the system. Again, they did it again. And why? What primed them? Positive hip hop. Primed them. Fight the Power. X-Clan. Brand Nubian. You had these groups out here who were pushing, who were politically orienting black kids in the right direction, giving them the proper prompters that they needed so that they can respond properly to oppression. All right? In 1967, when the riots happened, he saw that the self-esteem and the racial pride was fueling this. So he said, how do I bring that down so that they will not riot? And what he did, he flooded the airways with black exploitation movies. Nigga Charlie and the Return of Nigga Charlie. These were movies. Hip-hop didn't start calling people niggas. We had Shaft. We had Coffee. Black girl turned prostitute to do whatever, you know what I mean? But these black exploitation movies brought down the self-esteem and the racial pride so that the kids will not rebel against the system of oppression. 92, the racial pride was back in effect. We had black kids going to Dr. Ben Yuckin lectures. We were spending our money to go see Farrakhan speak as opposed to going to a strip club. This is where we were. The most coveted article of clothing was a historically black college or university sweater. We were motivating children towards positive attitudes and lifestyles. And when Rodney King got the beating, heads responded properly. Fast forward to our day. Sean Bell is shot 50 times in the street in New York by police officers. #1 song on the radio, Like a Lollipop. Nobody do nothing. Nobody respond to Trust me. Trust me. Just like the brother, I believe it was JT, the bigger figure, who said that the label executives came to him and said, yo, brother, we need you to talk about guns and whores. Right. You know what I mean? That's right. That happens. I've been in those meetings with management and had to ask me, is what you're saying really what you believe, so that we'll know how to market you properly? You know what I mean? This happens. Young Buck on his album, he has a song on his album that talks about police terrorism. The label said absolutely not. Jimmy Iovine said absolutely not. You cannot put that record on the album because it might create an atmosphere that might put police officers' lives in danger. So they took the record off, but they let him keep the other 14 songs on the album that talked about killing black youth. So this is what we're doing. We're not dealing with a circumstance or consequence of history. You know what I mean? The environment that we're embedded in puts us in a situation where we feel we have to maneuver and play the game and water our message down. You know what I mean? But no, what happened was they intentionally shifted the paradigm to get us exactly where we are right now. Right now, we're feeding the prison industrial complex right now. Our kids are going to prison because they're promoting these records. They're promoting these records daily that send us to jail. You know what I mean? It's cool to go to jail. You know what I mean? They glorify these things. It's not the black youth. We're in a position where we get, like the brother said, the choice. You know, he said, yo, I chose the positive. So I didn't do it. But every youth is not going to take that route. Right. I know I come from the projects. Grew up in the projects all my life. You know what I mean? And we're not turning down $500,000 to say nigga. We're not going to do it because we won't turn down $200 to take a package of crack from one corner to the next. You know what I mean? We live in a state of poverty and one of all things. So it's hard for us to make that. Our judgment is clouded. And they knew that the judgment would be even more clouded if they took groups like X-Clan off the radio. This is just what it is. And until we start to deal with the environment that's shaping behavior, we'll never get to the next one.
Okay? I wanted y'all to hear that. You dig what I'm saying? Hopefully that give you a little greater or better perspective on why we are in some of the conditions we are in as relates to what we're dealing with our young people. It's a little old video, but I believe what the brother had to say needed to be heard. As he was speaking, I, flashed a couple of books up on the screen to let y'all see, you dig what I'm saying? What I'm reading, you dig? I know some of y'all from the church, oh, he got Elijah Muhammad's book, Message to the Black Man. Oh, he got Elijah Muhammad's book, How to Eat to Live. Well, I grew up on those books. Because once I was a Muslim, you dig what I'm saying? And all the word Muslim means is oneness and submission to God. You feel, by definition. So, therefore, don't judge me. Because I could judge you about a whole lot of things. But if I want to be well informed, I'm going to read whatever's out there that I want to read. That's going to help me to reach the masses. I haven't survived this long in the streets being ignorant. It's because my spirit is open to whatever it is out there that God has for me that will help me as a tool or as a part of a weapon or arsenal to help me attack the mind of young people that are walking around in ignorance, so that I can open them up and pour something in that'll help elevate their conscious level of understanding, to get rid of the stinking thinking and get a checkup from their neck up by doing what's right. There's too many self-righteous Negroes, both black, so-called conscious, and so-called spiritual, that think y'all better than everybody else. But you Negroes wouldn't have got where you are today in life if it wouldn't be for somebody like me or somebody that was once like you. You done forgot where you came from. You done elevated yourself ignorantly away from the issues of life. And you need to give back. Instead of talking about it, you need to be about it. And first and foremost, need to really develop a real relationship with the Creator. By whatever name you choose to call him. I choose to call him Yahushua HaMashiach, which in America, we call him Jesus Christ. So the names for me at this particular point is interchangeable, because sometimes you may hear me pray in that name or the other. So don't get confused.